Hello everyone and welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're doing good and well. So it's time for another album review this week, and this time I'm talking about the third full-length studio album from the symphonic and gothic metal band Blackbriar, with their release 1,000 Little Deaths, which came out last Friday on the 22nd of August via Nuclear Blast, and the album is 10 tracks and 43 minutes in length. So if you force me to describe this album to you, I probably struggle a little bit actually. I think this is quite a unique and authentic sounding band, but if you made me try and describe this album, I'd say it's a little bit like Mother Earth era Within Temptation, but maybe if you had Kate Bush singing with the sort of creative flair that she has with Zora Cock as singer here, then I think maybe that would get you fairly close to a relatively accurate description. But even that probably doesn't quite do the band justice in terms, I think, of what they bring to the band or what they bring to their music in a more modern sense. So I think they're a very interesting band. I think there are lots of really solid songs on the album. I think I thoroughly enjoyed this. Going into the themes a little bit here, lyrically, singer Zora noticed a recurring theme of death weaving through the songs, inspiring the album title, 1,000 Little Deaths. She goes on to say, while 1,000 Little Deaths isn't a concept album in the traditional sense, a secret personal red thread connects many of these songs. We can't wait for you to experience it. And yeah, I have to say I really enjoyed this record. It's got cleverly constructed melodies, well-developed instrumental moments, good symphonic arrangements that don't overwhelm any of the tracks, some heavier, crunchier guitar moments for those of you that are looking for something a little heavier. It's got some of those moments in as well. And it's sort of a, it's kind of got a tale-telling type vibe to it, but in a very melodic and interesting, intriguing way. And I thoroughly recommend that if you like gothic metal, if you like symphonic metal, there's a pretty good chance you'll dig this album from Blackbriar, 1,000 Little Deaths. I don't think the album is completely without flaws. For me, the last couple of tracks sort of went out on a little bit of a whimper, maybe for me, maybe it's my taste a little bit with the last two songs, but they didn't provide me with the sort of memorable moments that the earlier tracks did. And I think this kind of an album, when it has a lot of memorable moments throughout the bulk of it, you want to end the album on a big high here. You want an epic climax, and that's what I was looking for. Maybe a sort of a Ghost love score type moment to finish this record. And I didn't get that from this Blackbriar album. I would have loved something like that to finish this off, to bring the album to just that huge climax I felt like it needed. But otherwise, really solid record. It will still get a high score from me at the end of the review. So just going into some of the songs, love Bluebeard's Chamber, the opening track with a really memorable chorus from Zora. Really does get out the gothicness that this band have, and I love a lot of those elements in a lot of these songs. My Lonely Crusade starts off with a heavy chugging guitar and a sort of piano accompaniment, before going into yet more kind of memorable moments as well in that song. And Floriography is a good song here, sort of in the middle of the album. It's a little different in a subtle kind of way. I think the way that Zora sings the sort of early verses in this track is, pretty beautiful in a sense, and really, quite a nice, pleasant diversion in a way from the rest of the record. A Last Sigh of Bliss, I think, provides the sort of, for me, the highlight on the record. This was a single as well, released before the actual album release. Good change of tempo here, really huge and epic melody in this song too, which I really dug too. So yeah, definite highlight on me for this album, A Last Sigh of Bliss. I also enjoyed Green Light Across the Bay, which came towards the end of the album. I think it was track number 8 here. And really, again, very memorable vocal moments and good instrumental backing provided by the band. And actually, there's a lot of strength that this band has, and I feel like this album could end up being the one before their big one. I feel like this name now is starting to get a little bit more attention, this Blackbriar band name. I think I've seen a few reactions to them on reaction channels, which is always a sign that they're kind of getting out there and a bit more known by the wider metal community. So let's see what album number 4 brings, because I think this band's masterpiece might just be around the corner. I'm giving this album, though, an 8 out of 10, still giving it a very high score. This is a really quite impressive album. It's just a shame it kind of, for me, tailed off at the very end of the album, but still a really strong one from Blackbriar. I highly recommend you check out if you kind of like stuff like, early Within Temptation, Tristania, Theatre of Tragedy, You know, that kind of Dutch symphonic and gothic metal scene, you know, from the late 90s, early noughties. Check this stuff out because it is good. Anyway, from me, hope you enjoyed the review. Don't forget to drop a like and a sub, and until next time on the channel, it is bye for now.